Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
It's just to go out there and give it your all every time. And
when you're young and you get in your old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Nanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?
Hey everyone, welcome along to In the Kokpit with Kinser, but of course we've been doing in the off-season shed night. Myself and my good friend who's been, chasing around the rally cars. He joins us from Bump and Run, Craig Booker. Hey Books, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, mate. It was a pretty cool daybreaker rally that came back. Ran into a few people there, and mate, just an awesome experience all week, helping Tony and Paul out how best I can. Didn't do a lot, but did what I could to help them. But those two guys, Tony Mack, old T Mac, and Paul, mate, what it takes to put on something like what they put on, you're talking over $100,000 to put that event on, mate. All for no profit. I mean, just to bring back an historic event, and it was really good to see it supported by so many drivers. You had Hayden Padden, of course, who we interviewed on the week before with Tony. You had Shane Van Gisbergen there as well, and he put on a bit of a show in the rain for the fans, which was awesome to see. Ben Hunt, just so many names and so many drivers. There was one crew, it was an all-girl crew, co-driver and driver. They finished it. They right down the track, they had to kill one stage off because it went red, unfortunately. A driver down a 20-meter bank and caught fire. But the driver and co-driver all okay, but unfortunately they had to cancel that stage. But yeah, mate, I mean, the amount of work, and of course not only the work for Tony and Paul, but you got to also think about their partners. Jacinda, Paul's partner, she was doing heaps of work. And then you had Tony's wife, Karina, my good mate, and her daughter, and their daughter, Taylor, doing heaps as well. Like Taylor did all the vests, high-vis vests and everything for everything, and the work and effort, and Karina hosting people at her house and stuff, I mean, like, there's all these other things. Like, we talk about the drivers at Speedway, mate, and we talk about the crews and the families and all the rest of it, and it's just as relevant in rally with this organisation, where I've seen how much effort goes in by friends and family to help out the organisers of the event. So yeah, it really was cool, and had the man from Dirtfish over as well. Was pretty cool, mate.
Yeah, eye-opener for you, and I know you had to travel around to certain stages in a van early hours of the morning, do what you had to do, but you did your little bit, mate, and you're always going to head out that way, and I know you enjoyed yourself. I think it started for you, Wednesday or Thursday, something like that last week? Yeah, they did the meet greet with the drivers and everything on Thursday night, which was an awesome event up there at Manfield, and then they did the big thing in Manchester Square, which was fantastic, where the drivers drove over the start ramp and away they went, But the whole event was awesome, mate. What a way to bring back the Daybreaker Rally is all I can say. And I just want to touch on something that they've spoken to us about, was this app, a QR app. Tell us more about that, how that worked. It was brilliant, eh?
Oh, mate, I think it was a world first for an event like that. So they made a QR app, and you scan the app, and then you hit it and looked, and you could choose, they gave you spectator points.
Yeah.
So you clicked on a spectator point that was listed for them, and it gave you GPS directions with your Google Maps, whatever, to drive straight there. And I was talking with old Murray Goodley, and he said he used it, and it was bang on. So, you know, you didn't have to go looking at where the stages were. You know, the old days of getting out your map and driving around these boondocks and stuff, getting to places, mate. But they did it, you know. But yeah, I see people comment about Colin Clark from Dirtfish. Mate, he is the voice of rally. He was awesome, you know, and had a great guy to meet too. Real funny guy. So, yeah, but it was, it was an eye-opening event, mate. And I loved it, and I hope they do it again. And well, I think they will, because I think because of the cyclone, Hawke's Bay, you won't see the Hawke's Bay part of the rally back for a while. Okay. So I think we'll see the Daybreaker back again next year, and it was a very successful event for them. I believe it was very successful.
Awesome,
but
mate.
yeah.
Awesome.
But as people could see too, kids, we did a bit of an app ourselves with the QR code today. I put up. So people, if you haven't seen it on our page, have a look. You scan our QR code, takes you to another page which lists all the tracks in New Zealand Speedway, and you can click on any one of those links and it takes you straight to the calendar of the website of that track, and you can look at where you're going to be and who you're going to go watch and what events you want to go and watch and see and what track and where, and just makes sort of something different, kids, and makes them easier for everybody. You know, you're not having to go to Wakaraka, then I'll kill that, then go to Gisborne Speedway, then this way you just click back, and you're there, you know. And I just thought it was something different, something easier for everybody for the season. And
Mate, keeping it simple, it's pretty well a digital diary of your favorite tracks you want to go to and check out your favorite meetings, and that's what our show's all about. We're going to bring in, of course, Gisborne and Meeanee tonight to find out what's going on at the tracks, what's been happening at the off-season, preparation for, of course, the season coming up. And I think we're going to bring in Sam from, of course, Gizzy Track. He's going to join us. I think he's sitting in the background waiting for us.
Let's
bring in Sam, mate.
Here he is.
Hey, Sam.
How's it going?
Good, mate. Hey, just before I say hello to Sam and carry on with them, I just want to say a big hi to Tanya Gillum, Scott Honeybow, Richard Auckram, Quasi, Brody James, who's watching, Wayne Otten, put up some photos from the rally. David Carlos is also watching as well. Muddy Goodley, Aaron Ferguson, Caleb Ireland, Tyler Ingram, Mark Goodman. Who else we got here, mate? Jason Coley, and the list goes on. I'll come back to more names, but we just want to do a bit of a shout out to some of the views at the moment. Sam, mate, how you been? How's your season been going so far?
Yeah, we've had a big off season, but it's been good. We've got a lot done, so with a lot of rain in the middle of it, so we got held up a fair way, but we're just about there now finally.
Yeah, any alterations to the track or anything around the actual track itself?
We've done a lot to the track itself.
Yeah. Okay.
We've done a lot of spectator sort of stuff down 2, 3, and 4, and new toilet blocks and septic tanks, and we've retained a couple 100 metres of the track and put up new fencing around half of the track. It's sort of new crowd control fence as well. It's lifted up our burger bar so it's up level with the ground, so you don't have to walk down to it like you used to. So we've done a fair bit. Yeah.
Well, it's good to see a fair bit's been done around the outside of the track, the amenities and everything like that. Let's get into your season because, dare I say it, and Scott Honeybone alluded to this earlier in the show, Speedway season's only just around the corner, mate.
Yeah, we start with our practice next weekend, actually. And then our first meeting on the 28th.
Yeah. So let's get into that first one. End of next month, you've got your opening meeting, Superstop Points, Dash Round 1, Ashley Scott Memorial, Golden Oldies, heaps going on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We've got 35 stock cars already registered for that first night for that Ashley Scott, so that should be well worth watching. Yeah, Superstop Points Dash is getting bigger and bigger by the year, so yeah, it's pretty cool. And the Golden Oldies are always awesome.
Yeah.
We've been following them for the last rounds.
Yeah. Moving on through to November, like most tracks up and down the country, it's all about the fireworks, but you got the NZ Sidecar GP, the chance for the street stock. So already into a couple of big meetings.
Yeah, the side chairs have been rained off twice or 3 times last year, so it's sort of rolled over and we just need to get it over and done with now before November. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a few bikes through it and we'll definitely have a big crowd there no matter what. Yeah.
How do those bikes go on that bank of that track? They must love that, wouldn't they?
Oh, they fly around there, but yeah, as long as the track conditions suit them, they love it. But
All right.
yeah,
Sweet. And then, of course, you move towards the middle of the month of November. You got the big extravaganza. I've already seen people commenting and saying, like Tyler James put a comment for Kerry and James running sprint cars 17th of November. That's going to be quite a big meeting.
yeah, we're pretty excited about that. That was the Western Springs promoter rung us and said that he could line up sort of 20 odd cars, and
Oh, wow.
Rodney McIndoe, one of our local sponsors, is pretty excited to help bring it to town. So we haven't had sprint cars here for 9 years now, so it'd be
Wow.
quite cool to see.
9 years ago, they would have been picking up some speed on their bank, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 years ago, it was the likes of Joe Ferrum and them that were local back then that had sprint cars before he moved to the Bay.
Yeah. But what was it like, though, just to put it in perspective, to get some fans along to watch sprint cars? Because we know sprint cars are full on speed, but on a bankman track like what you've got there, it must be unbelievable.
Yeah, we're sort of thinking they should do probably late sort of 12-second lap times around there.
Oh,
Wow.
Low 13s.
yeah.
So, yeah, we've got our super stocks down to sort of late 15s now around there. So, yeah.
Holy hell.
Late
Look at
15s.
that.
That's hauling for the super stocks too, isn't it? Holy moly.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Yeah. You've got TQs at night as well, saloons, stock cars, production saloons, street stocks and heats going on there. Then you got the one event coming up as well. It's another one. Hence the reason we're talking about off air about the 90s and stuff. I used to go and watch the Champs of Champs. You've got the City of Gisborne Saloons, the Production Saloon Champs of Champs on the 13th. 16th,
Yeah.
sorry.
We're hoping to get a few sort of limited saloons through for that. It'll be an awesome meeting if we can get the numbers. It's just hard to get them to travel here at the moment. Our roads aren't the best, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll touch on some of that. Moving through to 24, another one, Production Saloon Champs of Champs in the City of Gisborne Saloons, all on the 13th in the new year, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, we can't wait really, but yeah, it's as I say, you've got to get the people that want to travel on our roads now, which is the hard bit about it. The stock car fellas and that don't seem to mind it, but some of these other classes struggle a bit.
Yeah.
I think some
Yeah,
of the
they've
other
got
classes
try.
are starting to grow a bit though, aren't they? So they're slowly growing. Like a lot of these other classes
Yeah,
are
we've got
starting to grow now.
our side's growing at home, so yeah, hopefully that attracts more cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll see how we go. Moving on through to February, obviously the Sidecar Champs of Champs. There's a memorial race as well on the 10th.
Yeah, the Lord Cardinal Memorial. That's always a good meeting, and there is a lot of followers that come through for that, so yeah, it should be awesome.
All right. Then, of course, you got your big one there. Like we're talking, you get the stockers, they'll rock up there all the time, especially for this one. It's the North Island Stock Cars, plus you have Super Stock Points Dash Round 2, plus the Super Stock Best Pairs. That's going to be one not to miss out on the 23rd, 24th of Feb.
Yeah, it'll be an awesome meeting and sort of good time to bring some super stocks back into town while it's on. They will sort of want to get involved and watch and help as well. So yeah, we're quite lucky at that.
Then more best pairs roll on through to the month of March. Flat track bikes.
Oh,
Tell
they
me,
come
what
from-
the hell is that? What
That's
the hell
cool.
Coming
is
from the
that?
South Island, they're sort of between a solo and a motocross bike. They seem to
Yeah.
come through once a year. They're doing a series in the North Island. And sort of, yeah, they've been a couple of times and they keep wanting to come back. So I guess that's a good thing.
well, the old flat track bikes, they used to be big old Harleys as well, didn't they? Back, I think, in the early days, they were. I don't know what they use
Yeah,
now,
I
but they're pretty
I'm not
cool,
much
man.
of a motorbike person, but they seem to be like an on-road sort of off-road sort of
Yeah.
motorbike, what you'd see,
Yeah.
like a touring bike, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Cross with a
That'd be
motocross
cool to
bike.
go watch. Actually, I think that'd be something that people out there would want to put in your calendar. Actually, I think that'd be quite a spectacular thing to watch at a race, especially around your big bent Gisborne track, because those boys, they'd be giving it the hootenanny, or right, giving it right round there, eh? That'd be quite cool. I quite like that. I might have to put that date on my calendar, I think, Kins.
Head on through. Hey, then of course you got April coming up, mate. You got quite a bit in there before your kind of season. I see. It looks like it comes to a bit of a wrap. You got the Phil Walsh Memorial the Bruce Almos Memorial. Got quite a big meeting on the 6th.
Yeah, that's all sort of saloon car orientated, and as I say, once again, hopefully we can get some more that will come and support them. So we've got a reasonably good crew of saloon cars now, but a few more would never hurt. We've got some good young drivers that have come out of here in that saloon car class.
Yeah. And then looking at 12th and 13th, it's all about the mini stock champs plus super stock points dash, the final round. Super stock champs are champs, and the stock car classic.
Yeah, that should be an awesome meeting as well. The stock car classic always goes off. And that super stock champs are champs, that's something that we've sort of been trying to revive for the last couple of years. That used to be huge years ago. And we've got a huge following of mini stocks from the North Island now. They seem to come from everywhere.
You're doing
Awesome.
you're also doing some stuff in conjunction with Huntley Speedway this year too. We spoke to Red earlier on. He said that was it you guys doing? No, was it? Oh no,
Yeah,
that might have.
we've got he's wanting to do some home and away teams races with our super stock teams and our stock car team.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
We've just given our stock car team a revamp and got a few young guys that have good gear now. So, and our development team sort of needs a bit of experience in the super stock ranks. So, yeah, hopefully we can get a race or two at home.
So that's going to be sort of a home and away series with Huntley, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of fitting it in the calendar. That's the only headache that we've got there.
Mm-hmm.
The boys are all keen to go.
Everybody loves team racing, don't they?
Yeah.
And just on a personal note for you, mate, where are things at with you in regards to your own racing?
We've still got a teams race in that super stock development team, and when I can find gaps and the gladiators need help, I'll jump in and see if I can help them along the way.
Yeah. You're all prepared and excited for another season, mate? Ready to jump behind the wheel?
Yeah, the stock car's all ready to go. The super stock mode is meant to be back next week, so we'll shoot down to Pete's next week and put that in and run it up, and hopefully we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We've spoken to a few of the tracks up and down the country, started down in the south, and there seems to be a bit of a drive for family events and everything like that. Where's your track in regards to that situation, with kids being involved or everything around families? How's that all going at the moment?
Yeah, we're starting to run a lot more of a social side out at the track and
Cool.
and have a lot more young kids in that involved. You'll regularly see out there on a Sunday a lineup of young kids on our motorbikes and go-karts racing around the pits out there and
Nice.
having a good time while their parents are working.
Hey, talking of Sunday, this Sunday, 1 till 3 o'clock, you got the first of your green sheeting, and if you missed that on Wednesday, 4th of October, 5:30 to 7. That's right, eh?
Yep. And then we'll end up having to run some more green sheeting as the cars slowly come on, but we're sort of probably about 25% of the way through them so far. It's been a little bit slower getting used to this new app, but I think the boys are getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. So your
Excellent.
track's probably sort of increased itself over the last 3 or 4 years with the influx of the Rees becoming G cars. How's that affected your track, mate? Has it been pretty good for it, eh?
Oh, it's been awesome, really. It was sort of, I don't know what you'd call it. It was sort of probably in a bit of a lull. Sort of probably the last 3 or 4 years, it's really sort of built its numbers up, and we're getting reasonable crowds, and the likes of the Rees boys have really helped that, and they're helping a lot of our other young super stock drivers get up to speed as well. Yeah, they've done a lot for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Working. Sprint cars around Gisborne, they will fly on a cambered track. Yeah, you're right, Scott Honeybow, and everyone's talking about it at the moment. Brad Wright watching us as well. Who else has joined us? Pete Rose. Evening, boys. Pete and Peyton Wilson have jumped on board. Thomas Slater, Gary Lonergan. Gary's watching us as well. So big shout out to you guys. Ams is back on board watching as well. So got a good viewership tonight there, mate. Excited to see how the season is ahead. What's the latest on the roads, though? It's been tough, eh?
Oh, they're probably as good as they're going to get, really. They're open. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to go the long way round anymore, which is good.
Yeah, they saw. Yeah, Oh, they're all right. You sort of get used to it where you come from, but as I say, particular people seem to get upset over them, but it is what it is, really.
Yeah.
Hey, like every good track here in our country, there's a big volunteer base of people who support the track and do the work all behind the scenes. There's just so much input by volunteers and families.
Yeah, we've got a huge committee and a huge sort of base of volunteers now. There's sort of pretty much every weekend there's something going on. Most weeknights there's sort of something happening there. They've been running a darts competition to make some extra money through the winter.
Wow.
The bar's been open every Wednesday night for the last 4 months.
I saw that. That's just something different for a club, and you sort of turned it into a bit of a social club as well during the off season.
It's quite financial and way of doing it, and as well as a lot of our own competitors, they've actually made a darts team and had a good time, and we're slowly picking up more and more people. There's about 12 teams in it now.
Oh.
We have an all-day event to finish it off as a final, so that's quite cool.
Yeah. And of course, you got your sponsors. I'm not going to sit here and go through every single one because I'm mostly going to miss one. But you're officially the Eastland Group Raceway?
Yep, it's the last year of doing it. They've been with us for about 10 years now.
Oh.
And they've been really good to us, but it's sort of time for them to move on into different ventures and whatnot. But we've been pretty lucky to have them. It's going to be hard gap to fill.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go, people out there. There's an opportunity for you next season. You want to be a big part of Speedway?
Meeanee Gisborne Speedway.
Hey, Kokpit Media Gisborne Speedway, you reckon, eh? Hey.
Get the checkbook out.
Get the checkbook out.
I don't think we have that sort of money.
No, it might be, mate. Might be. Oh, no, here's my card. Here's my card. Hey, look, Book, there's my card. No. Oh, I love that, mate. I like how you put the pressure on us, eh? Just like that.
Someone will fold eventually.
Wow. Hey, you can't do without those supporters and your sponsors and your volunteers, eh, mate, because it won't make it work, eh? Without them, they give their time, mounted hours, they're there from whenever you got to be there until late at night, and then they got to go home and do what they do. And when you think what they've been through, not only at your track, but up and down the country, that wet weather, it's just been a bugger, eh?
Yeah. You sort of just learn to live with it now, eh? Move on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It seems to be more a part of it now. You just got a plan for it, I think, now, don't we, the way things have been going? Although I truly believe that this season's going to be hot. I think we've had all that rain. I think we're going to, both of us, all Gisborne and Napier, I think we're going to end up in a bloody drought next because, it's those temperatures.
So we've had 2 years of COVID and then a year of rain. It just we've just battled our way through it. We've kept the gates open and kept the show going, but a lot of the time it wasn't really that viable because of the crowd capacity that we should have had compared to what we actually got. But at the end of the day, it is what it is.
I think this year is going to be the year for every track, to be honest. I think, and I think people are going to want to go because we've been so starved of our sport we love, I think the gates are going to get chocker. People are going to go through these gates, and some of the stuff that the tracks are putting on, like yourselves, events that we haven't heard of, like that are coming back. Like you got your sprint cars, you got the long track bikes and that. That's extra. That's cool stuff to go and watch.
Yeah. Sort of hopefully it'll be good for us.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can hope, mate, but it's brilliant, at least you're doing it. And hey, there's people who've been recognised too. Like I'm just quickly going through your superstar competitor, the see Ethan and everything like that as well. So it's great to see people being recognised for what they do representing the G. Mate, I wish you all the best for the upcoming season. You can keep in touch on gisbornespeedway.co.nz. The updated calendar for this year's season is all on there. It's even on their Facebook page. Give them a like and a follow. And one way to keep in touch. We appreciate your time, mate. You can go enjoy the rest of your evening and chill out now. And good luck with your racing season, eh? Awesome.
Cool. We'll see you around.
Yeah, we'll come back next year. Come over to Kokpit Media Speedway track in Gisborne. No, just joking. Hey, it'll be awesome.
Oh, bloody hell. Cheers, Sam. Thanks for your time, eh?
No worries.
Thanks, awesome, mate. Good luck. Cheers.
Yes. Oh, well, that was good. Well, just like I could see James is there but not there, so he can't be far away from getting back to his seat. So we'll just talk a bit of talk with until I see him come back to his seat there. He's obviously just ducked away to do something quickly. But I see Paul Fallon from the Daybreaker Rally organisers put a comment in there to say thanks for the Daybreaker review. It was a pleasure reviewing the Daybreaker, Paul. It was awesome to see it come back, and yourself and Tony have done a magnificent job, and all the volunteers and all the crews that you had helping you. And even the crew that towed me back, I might as well tell people that story, shall I, kids?
Go on.
So what happened to me at the Daybreaker, I got a message. Well, I had a couple of things actually that happened. Like, people that know rallying, Kins, they know Tony Mac, T-Mac, with his Hayabusa Starlet. This thing is just an absolute weapon. It's now supercharged, and it's just ridiculous. I heard it go up the road that day, and it's just fantastic. But, you know, up past 2 a.m, I'm fast asleep in my bloody camper. Next thing I hear this, and Tony's finally spent till 2 o'clock, past 2 a.m, to get his car up and running, and it fires me up. I think it's the first time and only time I've been woken up by a loud car with us, and I woke up with a bloody smile on my face thinking, this is awesome, eh? You know, this car's up and running again. But yeah, that was pretty cool. But then Tony messaged me on the Friday night at about 10:30, which is way past my bedtime, and said, can you take the van tomorrow and deliver some marquees to stage 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6? So I said, yeah, I'll do that. So I got up early and went out to Manfield and picked up the marquees to take out to the stage, and drove out there at the back of Ty Happy, then the Napier Road down the back there into the boondocks to the rally stages, and dropped off a few marquees, and then went back in and over Vinegar Hill, back through, and there's James just come back, so we'll grab him in a sec. Come back and dropped the last ones off, and I rung Tony, said, anything else you want doing, mate? And he says, yeah, can you head back up to those stages and pick them up? I thought, oh, bloody hell, but yeah, no worries, mate. So off I toddled in this in the Toyota van, and got out the back of Ty Happy there and picked them up and started heading back in, and come over the brow of a thing, and bloody clutch blew up on me. Stranded in the middle of bloody nowhere. And then I ring Tony and said, oi, the van's died on us. And I happened to look in the mirror and see the cleanup crew coming behind me, so I stopped them, and they towed me all the way back to Manfield. So it was an exciting time with a tow rope that was probably a metre and a bit long behind this ute getting towed to the 100 Ks. It was pretty exciting, I can tip you. But it was good because I got to be back in time to see the final stage around Manfield in the rain, with, you know, these guys putting on a show out there on that special stage, and man, they were awesome.
Yeah. Well, you're here to tell us the story, mate, so that's a good thing. Wayne Alton Mitsu is predicting 35, 36 degrees in the Hawke's Bay in Gisborne this summer. I see, according to Tony T, thanks, Scott Honeybone. Tony T knows all about the weather, eh, mate, from down in the south. Blue skies, weather everywhere, up and down, so it looks pretty good. Fingers crossed that we have beautiful weather for, of course, our upcoming Speedway season. There's a couple of big meetings coming up as well, Meeanee Speedway, and he joins us sitting there comfortable, just chilling out at the moment. Yeah. Chilling out. James Buckrell's there, eh? Yeah, that's the way. Hey, mate, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Thank you for taking some time out to join us.
I actually forgot about it until you text me.
No, that's why I text. You know, that's what happens. But that's what happens when you're busy working on race cars, eh, mate, and everything else.
Oh, I'm at Jacob's house at the moment because we've got the car around here. I still haven't finished my new shed. Well, that's all done. We're just getting ready for the concrete to go in there. So, so the car's at Jacob's at the moment, and parts split around 3 different sheds and hay barns.
All that the play. Mate, what's your season been like for Meeanee, knowing that you've got a pretty big season coming up, especially early January? But what's your season been like? Because most tracks that we've spoken to have either done maintenance to the tracks, rebuilt the walls around the track as well with amenities and so forth. What's been going on at Meeanee?
Because we're starting up going club run now from being promoted for the last 12 years, we didn't want to spend too much in facilities. You know, we got money to the side there to get going for the year.
Yep.
You know, but you also got to have some money in reserve just in case there's a rain out or there's some issues. So we've basically just been tidying everything up, bit of maintenance and that sort of stuff. But our projects will be next year.
Cool.
You know, we had to buy a bit of equipment. We bought a new roller.
Yep.
And stuff like that. So yeah, we're probably going to spend about 40, 50 grand getting set up, ready to go.
Yep.
And a lot of that is like your health and safety plan. You know, that's quite a bit of money. Safety, your traffic management, because that bridge is out on the other side of Meeanee there, that one-way bridge. That's caused a problem for your traffic management plan to go back to the Napier City Council. So we've had to get people in to do that and work out, especially with the New Zealand's, how we're going to do it, because there's only really one way out of there.
Oh, how?
Which is not a problem. When you look at Rotorua, that's basically one way out of there as well, if you look at the 240s and that. So it's just a matter of judging it. So we're going to, obviously, the Guy Fawkes meeting, we're going to have a bit of a test run, make sure it works.
Yeah.
Well, I actually think that I think opening night at Meeanee is going to be huge. I remember opening night last year, you couldn't get a spare seat in the place. So you might be testing it opening night, James, because I think that we've been so starved of our speedway this season that I think opening night at Meeanee. I mean, I've got mates, me and Kinser both coming. We're going to come down and, like I spoke to you, James, and do a go live there and talk to some drivers and stuff. And but yeah, I think opening is going to be huge at Meeanee. And I hear the Reasons are coming too to race.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. We've got some great classes. We've got some big meetings coming up. Obviously, everybody knows we've got the New Zealands. We want to have a few test runs on a few things before we get to the New Zealands to make sure we've got it all sorted, which is quite important to us. But there's been a lot of work in the background, getting everything organised. The staff organised, just the logistics of actually running it.
Yep.
But we're not going to have everything done by opening. Not stuff you'll see though, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So no, we're pretty excited about it all.
All right, wicked. All right, so you've got 14th of October as a practice. That's all go there. Tuesday, 17th as well. Then, like Booker alluded to, big opening night, super stocks, stock cars, TQ saloons, super saloons. Opening rain out maybe this Sunday, but we're positive it's going to be nice and sunny late. That's Labour weekend, so yeah, I'm looking forward to heading on through. Guy Fawkes and the Hawke's Bay Super Saloon champs as well. Holy hell, already!
The Guy Fawkes is a big one. I mean, in Hawke's Bay, we're one of the only ones that actually put on a display. So Meeanee's the place to be. Not just for racing, but for a bit of Guy Fawkes, bit of bang bang.
Yeah, bang bang.
I'm listening to Gisborne before. They've got their sprint cars on the Friday night. We're going to have them on the Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a little bit of work to do around that, but we're hoping to have a pretty good field. We're going to have TQ, super stocks, super saloons. So there's going to be quite a major event there. The third one in.
Yeah. Okay, looking forward to that. Like you said, 18 Sprint Cars Productions. There's hits going on. Caravan Derby. Come on, Box. That's me and you, mate. Oh. Hey, that's us. The second of December. Is that us?
The caravan.
I think that's going to be pushed back later on in the season, to be honest.
Okay.
Davey Jones is sort of handling that side of things. He sort of handles the calendar.
Oh, who's that ringing?
That is Ethan McLaughlin ringing. Hey, Jacob, how do I bring this up? How do I bring this up?
Don't bring him up. You don't want me to talk to Jacob. Just ignore him. Just hang up on him.
Oh, you're all fucking. Oh, Ethan McLaughlin was ringing.
Yeah. Yeah. Then stop ringing, mate.
All right, where were we? So that was
Guy Fawkes and that all done. Caravan Derby books. That's moving on. Christmas special. 16.
Yeah, so Caravan Derby. Yeah, we're probably going to push that later on into next year.
Okay.
Tony Derrick sort of handles the derbies. He's pretty big on them. Does a really excellent job. Just to make sure everybody's got enough caravans and get themselves a bit organised. Now I've got Jason Long ringing me.
They'll watch you. They're doing this on purpose.
Well, he's back in a saloon car this year, isn't he?
Nothing better to do.
They're all
So
gonna
we're
be-
going to run that later on in the season, I think.
Okay.
That's always a big one. And also, I don't really want to see a lot of junk on the track coming up to the New Zealand's either.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to try and take it, and you still keep finding it.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of the Superstock boys will be pretty annoyed if they're blowing tyres because we've been out there wrecking caravans.
Yeah, you're right, 100% right. Then you got a Christmas special which features modified sidecar, street stock, super saloons, saloon stock cars, a teams race and production saloons as well, mid-December.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem for me personally, that one. Because we're going to the charity event.
Oh, that's where we'll be as well.
Right.
Yeah,
That
it's
is.
supposed to be the first event that my youngest son is in the mini stock. So I can't be in two places at once.
Oh.
So I'm going to try and talk him into starting the week after.
Yeah, well, we're in that for that charity because that event needs to go ahead. That's been pushed back. Had bad runs for the last couple of years, and at that charity event that needs to happen. So we need to support that. But then you've got, what have we got there? City of Napier Invitational.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
That's basically going to be a bit of a test run for the New Zealanders. We want to try and get everything in place for that. Shane Warner's been helping quite a bit with the, setting up of the New Zealanders, and we're looking at putting quite a bit of scaffolding everywhere. So think of an area that can't be used, we're going to try and make it usable. That's what we're looking at doing. So the back of the stands having extra scaffolding behind there, and some of the other areas having like a terracing for crew and stuff like that. So there's quite a bit going to be going on for the New Zealanders.
Right. Let's get into that then. Let's talk about the New Zealanders because this is a big event. We know all about this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If it's a rain out, but we're not going to have a rain out. We're going to be 100% positive it's going to be fine. Big start to the year for 24 for your track host in the New Zealand Superstock Champs.
Well, it's actually going to start off on the Wednesday for us. Shane Warner has organised a deal in the club rooms. It's going to be like a dinner thing for a lot of the old drivers, and not just stock car drivers or Superstock drivers. We got the Flynns, the Todds, and all of that. So some of these midgets. So it's just for a whole lot of old guys who are going to get together, have a barbecue. The bar's going to be open, and it's going to be quite a cool event actually. That's going to be on the Wednesday night. So it's get a lot of the old guys back in, and get them telling a few war stories. And
well, I've got to ring Shane about that, like you said. So we're hoping that once I talk to Shane, that myself and Kins will be there for that night to go live and get some of these legend stories out there for everyone to hear, because we need to hear them. I think, James, these guys have got a lot to share with us, eh?
Oh, and that's right. There's going to be a big page in the Dirt Track magazine. I think Shane's put a thing in there. So it's going to be publicised in the next week, and you'll see that getting kicked off. So that's going to be on the Wednesday night. Then we move into Thursday, which will be practice. We're just finalising times, but roughly this is how it's sort of going to go. We're actually going to run practice as a bit of a meeting, looking at racing the classic stock cars that night, and also mini stocks. So it just gives you a bit more time in the super stock. The boys, they can go practicing and spend a bit of time with their changes and mucking around. We're going to charge a little bit for it, but not much. So it's just a bit of a sharpener, you know what I mean? There's a lot of the practices you go to, they're rushed. You have a couple of runs in your car, and then she's all over, and you haven't really tried anything.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, the classic stock cars really wanted to be involved in this deal. And obviously, we've got 40 odd mini stocks, and we've got to run classes. We can't really run them on the qualifying night, because if if we're looking at, say, 5 groups, you're looking at 130 odd cars. I can't remember what Huntley had in their first run. What was, you guys might even remember. They were about 30 cars, weren't they?
Yeah, 120 something registered. I think it dropped down to about just under 120, but you're right. It was around that. I know Ams is watching, so Ams will throw the figures at us any minute now, but yeah, you're right. It's somewhere around that.
Excuse me, I had the flu this week, so trying to burn the candle at both ends a bit. So if you're working at, say, even 120 something cars, 26 cars a race,
Mm.
and you work out your groups, how many races you're going to run in a night, you really can't run another class on the qualifying. We are looking at having another class there just to throw out if there's going to be runoffs and that, because try to keep the crowd entertained. There's nothing worse when you're waiting for runoff, you're doing points, whatever, and there's nothing happening on the track. We want to try and keep that going. So that's sort of the first couple of days, and then obviously you're into the finals. There'll be your top 24 will go out, and then obviously on a parade, then we'll do the repechage, and then we'll do a tier 3, tier 2. Obviously we've got a little bit there. This is all unofficial at the moment. We're probably looking at running street stocks mainly for our track being clay and line. It's very beneficial to run them the other way and bring the track back.
Right.
It all depends on the weather too. There's been rumours going around that we were going to run super saloons. That's not the case. We're not going to run wide wheel tyres. They would be on some sort of a standby system if the weather was crap leading up to it.
Okay.
But yeah, the other thing, we might look at running TQs on that night as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very professional class. They're fast, they're quick. And I think a lot of the TQ boys are pretty excited about running in front of a big crowd like that.
Yeah.
So those are the things we've been looking at. As I said, nothing's confirmed. We've got a few things to run through, but we're looking at running solo bikes before the meeting starts on the bull ring.
Oh, wow.
So Darren Wilson and a few of the boys and a few of those guys have been helping with that. It's all about giving the crowd entertainment. The thing with us is we're worrying about the track, we're worrying about cars, we're worrying what's going on in the pits. Sometimes you actually need to go and sit in the stand and just be a normal punter, not a huge speedway fan, just a punter. And you've got to look at the show you're putting on.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse when you're sitting at a track for 3 hours waiting and there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that we're sort of looking at doing. Possibly a band. Shane's been working on that. Shane Warner's been working on a few things like that. So we've got some pretty exciting stuff coming from the New Zealanders.
Okay, look forward to it. So heats going on there, like you said, Wednesday, nothing's really confirmed around the championship side of things. But I know Booker and I'll be catching up with you again, James, as it gets closer. We'll do a big, massive build-up to the event, very similar to when we get down there. Booker and I will be there on the Wednesday. I'm quite excited, actually, to catch up
if we
with
do that Legends night, I've got James gave me Shane's phone number, but I've been a bit sidetracked the last couple of days trying to organise shit, but I'm hoping I get hold of him. I might ring him after the show, to be honest. And
waiting for your call. I was talking to him this morning. I said, "Is Booker rang you?" And he goes, "No." But I told him what you said to me, your plan. He thought it was quite exciting.
Yeah. So hopefully, and I think that if we can, we normally do a Wednesday build-up show for a big event. That's what we do, and we build it up during the week. Well, how better could it be to do a build-up show that's live from the track at the club rooms with all the legends and talking to them and building up, and you might have old and new drivers, everything. It's going to be, I just think it'll be fantastic, the perfect way to build up to a great event. And it's good to see, for me, like last year, Ems and the crew at Huntley, they did something different for the New Zealanders. They did new things, and it's good to see. And you guys as well, with what you were telling us, James, you're doing more things and thinking more about this. And it's great to see this progression, isn't it, Kins? That this great event in our sport is just progressing to more and more different things. And like James and the Meeanee team are saying, we want to make sure the crowd are entertained and not sitting there for a couple of hours, because that frustrates me too. I sit there and you're waiting and there's nothing happening in front of you on the track, and so I think doing that is a real step forward for our sport as well, you know.
Yeah, well, I've seen Marty Goodley put a comment here, infield clowns box. I think he suggested me and you might go out there and pretend to be clowns, mate. We're going to be clowns.
I don't know if I can go in there and be a clown, mate. I haven't got the fitness level.
I'll do it.
Leighton was a clown for us last time in at the New Zealand. I can't quite remember. I remember them out there mucking around.
That was Tony Derrick and Ben Derrick.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think
they had a car and everything they did. Tony, Ben, and a couple of his mates, it was.
Yeah,
that's right. They did too.
The one thing I will announce, which I was going to put it on Facebook tonight, but hey, might as well do it here. Scotty Myers has actually jumped in to be the major sponsor for the New Zealanders at PTS Transport.
Oh, cool.
So that'll be announced over the next couple of days. Or well, put on our Facebook page. But hey, you heard it here first. There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I actually ran
news.
into Scotty and Jack on the weekend at the rally because they were sponsors of the Daybreaker Rally as well. He really does put a lot, I mean, we talked about. I talk about the speedway and the people with the rumors and the bullshit. I'm sorry I swore a little bit there with that word, but I've seen over time we've done our media show. I started myself and Kins. We used to sit back and you listen to all the rumors about this, that, and the other, and who wants to get who and that. And they put down Scotty Myers a lot. These people, and all I've seen last 12 months is him off track doing everything for everybody else. Like he turned up to Ashes night and was the highest bidder for Ashes race suit, and yet they said the reasons. And then I see him involved and right backing behind the Daybreaker Rally reopening. And now you come to us exclusive tonight and tell us he's now the major sponsor for the New Zealand's, and he does that one in Nelson as well. I mean, the support for Speedway from the Myers family is huge, isn't it?
You know what it is the people that flap their gums
Yes.
are the ones that aren't important.
Yes.
I mean that in the sense of they don't know the guy personally, or they just, it's a tall poppy syndrome. Whether it's Scotty Myers, Wayne Hemme, Peter Rees, I mean, they're all good guys and they're all willing to help.
Yes, 100%.
Like I was speaking to Peter the other day. He rang me and we talked about the New Zealand's, and that's the other thing I've been doing is running some of what we're doing past some of those guys.
Yeah.
Because as far as Hawke's Bay Speedway is concerned, we want this New Zealand chance to be one of the best, not just from crowd, but from the competitors as well. Like them walk away. It's if we can get 100 little things right, it makes up for the big things as well. You know what I mean? So we're really concentrating on making this one of the best events we've been to. And you said about Anson with the New Zealand's last year. His lead up he did to, I think, the road to the New Zealand's, was it?
Yes. Yeah.
That was excellent.
Yeah.
That was absolutely excellent. And it hasn't really been done. And the way they did it was really professional. I really liked that idea. I wanted to do something like that, but I'm scared if I do something too much like it, I've copied them.
Yeah. Well, they did the what else they did? The kids, they got the kids to draw the.
See what
grids for
Ant
the
had
Sunday
done,
night, involving the kids.
What Ant had created was the people who wanted to follow their journey, and they got interacted to vote their number one driver of all time, which I think, by the way, might have been Barry Hunter from memory, who took out there was that interaction. And like Booker just alluded to, the kids came out onto the track and did the grid draw. They went for a drive around right up with the drivers, and all the grid stuff. Yeah, they really took it to their next side. Mate, Jacob's watching. Jimmy is going to be a great clown at the NZs.
And AJ Axton's has got AJ Axton's has got James. Am I getting the master bedroom at your place during the NZs?
What was that?
AJ Axton.
Oh, AJ, he's gonna slip out to the ranch. He's all good, mate. We'll be there. He's just gonna bring the seafood. Powers and crayfish. I don't do kinner. I've tried, but can't.
No, I can't do that either, mate.
Hey, James, Scott Honeybone down in the south here. 3 nights New Zealand Superstocks. Any discussions or anything being decided on live streaming?
Yeah, our live stream's going to be Jeff from
Kiwi,
not Jacob. Sorry, Kiwi Motorsport. He's put an offer forward, and he does brilliant work. But Jeff actually does live streaming from our track every race meeting.
Yep. Cool.
There's still a little bit of work to do around that. But yeah, we're definitely going to be having live stream. That's for damn sure.
Yep. Okay.
We're also looking at having a big screen there as well. It's just how we're going to do it. As I said, the list of the stuff you're still working on all the way through, and it all comes together. But yeah,
it's too early. Too early to ask any ideas or scrutineering, or is that at the track, or that too to be decided?
Yeah.
There you go, Maru, at the track.
And the reason we did that is I think might have been the North Islands, something like that. I think we had scrutineering down on Marine Parade.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
GP, wasn't it? And it was very logistically hard. You got to go down and you unload your rig, you're in the middle of town, then you got to go all the way to the track. It's actually a pain in the ass. When the best scrutineering we've got is actually in the Peter Barry shed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously the groups will come at different time stages, the park them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it will be done in the track, yes.
All right, just quickly to wrap up this, because we've been talking about this a lot. We're going to do this all again as it gets closer. Ams has heard us talking about what he did with the road to the Superstocks in New Zealand. More than happy to assist with the countdown if you need a hand, Jimmy. So he's happy to help you out, to give you a bit of a hand with anything. Just sing it.
We'll have a chat.
All right, there you go. All right, so I'll get your details to James there, Ams, and he'll be happy with that. So it's all good. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on through to the Hawke's Bay TQs. That's at the end of January, so that's going to be a big one with the Hawke's Bay Stock Car Champs, Street Stock Champs, Super Stocks, Mini Stocks, Sidecars. What a way to see the end of the month out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, probably after the New Zealand's, there's going to be some changes in that calendar. I mean, you never, it all depends on, there's some classes that could be away on a bit of teams racing, but we're wanting to try and get all those memorial ones done. We're trying to get some teams racing in beforehand, before the Palmy teams. I don't know. I think, Quentin Butcher's the new team manager now. Yes. I stepped down. I just didn't have the time, and I didn't want to. I needed to do it justice. And Jason Long's still there, Mike Mack, Regan O'Brien. I'm sort of semi there, but it's nothing's really changed. It's just Quentin's calling the shots, and he's doing an excellent job.
Awesome,
it's time to step up, and it's very hard being president and doing this, and then also trying to run cars, business, a farm, and everything else. So we got some pretty exciting stuff. We want to run. I think they want to run another team, maybe Wanganui or Wellington. I'm not quite sure, but if that doesn't pan out, we're going to have an in-house teams race.
Cool, awesome.
So, we're supposed to do it last year. It never happened. So, the concept was to have 2 experience in each team, and then 2 newbies, which obviously he was one of them.
Yeah. You look at the smile on his face, mate. Then you move through to February after the big event in Palmer. You got the North Island Street Stock Championship.
Yeah, that's we haven't done a lot of work on that, but we're going to get into that soon. We're going to form a bit of a sub board. There'll be a 2-night deal. So I think that's going to be quite a big event. I mean, Hawke's Bay's quite a big following in street stocks, and they put on a good show too. They get into it. I think sometimes they think they're in a stock car. Those boys.
Yeah, hard out. They do hard out. It's good to watch. Then of course, end of where is it? End of Feb 24th, the TQ Grand Prix. Yep,
that's going to be another good meeting. I think we might run a derby with that. I think Davy Jones was saying. I'm not quite sure.
You've got red in there. You've got also got Super Stocks Hawke's Bay Champs penciled in for that meeting too.
I actually can't remember. But yeah, we're probably going to. The thing that Davy's trying to do is make every meeting a something meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool.
Instead of just having a meeting, really running nothing. I'm not meaning nothing. I'm meaning no reason to run. We need a reason to run every time. So we're looking at that.
Then you move through to March, where you got the Demo Derby, Mini Stock Hawke's Bay Champs as well. Easter is always huge down in Meeanee. Big crowd always turns up with the East Coast Champs, though.
Yeah, East Coast Champs. As I said, we'll get a couple of things we're going to change there, hopefully. But yeah, we want to. Easter's always a very big one, and it's bloody hard because we're running all classes, and it can take a long time to get through them. So I think we're going to do a little bit of work around that, and then we start shifting into obviously the Autumn Nationals. Which one thing we want to do as a club is really concentrate on the Autumn Nationals, because Shane Warner and all them started the Autumn Nationals some years ago, and the concept behind it was to be like Battle of the Stocks, a big event, invite only. And if some of the older ones remember when Autumn National started, that was a huge event. I think there's a quad given away and thousands of dollars. It was huge, and then they had the best pairs. So we really want to concentrate and try and get that Autumn Nationals back as being one of the major events you want to go to, like what Steve Lennon's done with the Battle of the Stocks.
Yeah.
And same with the Peter Barry's, I think that needs a little bit of a revamp, just to sharpen it up a bit. But that needs to be a bit more promoted better. and then try and get some more. I wouldn't mind personally. I'd like to see some super stock teams racing there as well, along with the Peter Barriers. Peter Barry actually he finished. He put it. Passed away and actually Palmy teams. He was in a super stock race. So yeah, something we could look at, some different things like that.
Yeah, plenty going on. So you got a pretty full-on calendar. Obviously starts Labour weekend, and hopefully everything's successful. Forget about rainouts, and we get the whole event season up and running through to end of April, maybe a meeting to be confirmed coming up in May. Mate, it's been a lot of work done behind the scenes. I know it's not only yourself, but there's a committee, there's volunteers, and so many families involved, and credit where it's due.
Oh, it's been awesome. I mean, Regan O'Brien and Mike Mack have been organising the working bees, and I don't know if I said to you guys last time when I turned up at the working bee, I was half an hour late. Regan made it 8:30 on a Sunday, and I said to him, I didn't even go to work at 8:30 in the bakery. I pitched up about 9 o'clock, thought I was doing well, and I got there when I come down the drive, and the pits were full. It looked like a meeting. I think there was over 75 people there. There was about 12 guys on weed eaters. I could have weed eated 10 acres. We haven't had working bees like that since ever I can remember. So, which is really, really cool to getting that club spirit back. One of the other changes you'll see if you go into the club rooms, Mike Mack and Claire, Mike Mack's wife, and Melissa Collier, they've been working on the club rooms and making a little committee there, a subcommittee for social club, and really using the club room. So there's been quite a few events there. There's going to be more events. So after the meeting, we just bought a big screen TV in there so we can have the meeting playing afterwards, and try to get more people back to the club rooms and bring back what it used to be like. Maybe not what it exactly used to be like.
Yeah.
Even when the sun come up, kids asleep under the table. We can't do that anymore. But they've done a really good job trying to get that club morale back, because club morale starts in all corners of the club A. So and everybody's pulling on the rope, and it's really, really good to see.
Reckon. I love the attitude and everything that you've brought to what you talked to us about tonight there, James. And mate, you got it going on. You got a pretty full-on calendar. I love the whole concept of everyone doing the work behind the scenes. I hope you get to have a successful season, and I can't wait to get down there Labour weekend and then kick back there from Wednesday in January. I'm quite excited, actually, because I was only down there not that long ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I bloody enjoyed it down there. I love that place down there. So Booker's twisted my arm, mate. I'm coming all through.
We'll get him to be a Hawkeye supporter soon, James, too.
When you were doing the interviewing through scrutineering at the Huntley, that was good. I'd love to see you guys come and do that for us.
Yeah, I will definitely do that for you, mate. Yeah. I mean, like I said to you, James, we're happy to help anything out. But do remember, people, too, that opening weekend this year for Meeanee Speedway is the Saturday, not the Sunday. It's a day forward to what it normally is. A lot of people would have, because it's for a lot of years it's been on that Sunday, but it is the Saturday this year. So mark that in your calendar, and you'll want to get there early, otherwise you're not going to get a seat.
Yeah, it always used to be the Saturday. It's only when Palmy started promoting us, because they'd open on Saturday, so they shifted us to Sunday. But the only reason we went back to Saturday is to give us a rain out day.
Yep.
If it rains out Saturday, we can move to Sunday.
Yeah.
If we play Sunday and it was a rain out, well, it's it. You're done.
Yeah.
And as a club, we can't afford to be losing meetings.
Yeah. 100%. And I don't know if you've made your decision, but ticket prices are staying the same, or what's happening there?
No, they will be going up. Obviously, it's the New Zealand's. I can't really say what yet, because we're still working on that. We look at the other New Zealands, look at the 240s and see what's fair.
But like your normal meetings, though, James, it's going to be...
Yeah, all the normal meetings the same as last year.
Cool. Okay.
The only change we've made, and it's going to be announced, might as well announce it on here since I've already been doing a bit of that. We're going to have the gold card for pensioners.
Oh.
So they'll pay 20 instead of 25.
That's me.
I was going to say, old mate deal, you're right.
Hey, rich bloody councillors, they got all the money.
I'm not a councillor, I'm a pensioner. No.
So yeah, so I mean, we've made a few changes like that. So you know, it's only $5, but you know that $5 in cost of living is a lot for people. You know, to bring out.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of stuff like that we've been working on, but yeah, that's definitely happening. But as far as a normal ticket price for every meeting, bar the New Zealand's, will be the same.
Okay.
And what about, are you using the same caterers, or are we going to see some Buckrell pies in there, mate?
Yeah, there's pies have been sold in the club rooms actually.
Cool.
We're going to have some different caterers. Still have gala caterers. We're going to have more caterers, and that was something I had a walk around last year and noticed that you know people were waiting an hour because there wasn't enough food vendors, and you know an hour and a half, and then they run out of food. And if you looked at it, you really didn't have a lot of choice bar from I think turn 1 around to turn 3. It was just all hot dogs, you know, and there was nothing there for kids. There was no donuts, there's no ice creams, and healthy foods. You know, people have changed a bit in their eating.
Yeah.
So Regan O'Brien's actually been handling all, and his wife Donna O'Brien, they've been handling all the food vendors. I sort of gave that job to them, and they're doing an excellent job.
Cool.
So we're going to have quite a few different food vendors as well, even on a normal night, and bring in some extra different ones for the New Zealand's and some of those bigger meetings.
It really does sound like it's working quite well at the moment with the being club run and everybody taking on their job. Like you say, Regan and Donna doing that. You've got Mike and Claire doing the social side of it. You know, everybody's got a job to do, and they seem to be doing it very, very well.
And that's where you get your club morale. You know, like I've seen Meeanee Speedway doing that wall and some of that terracing, and you know that club's been going on the up and up for 3 or 4 or 5 years now, and it's really good to see. You see that with Rotorua, Aaron Musgrove and Lex and all that down at Wellington, what they're doing down there, Nelson Speedway, and when you actually look at a lot of these speedways, they're going really well. The club ones are actually getting a lot of support from their members. And same with sponsors with us. You know, we've been inundated with sponsorship, and it's been absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
So you got these people that want to come and help.
You know, and in February we're going to be teams champions, so it just tops it off, really, doesn't it?
Hope so, mate.
Well, before you become teams champions, have they got accommodation?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've worked that out. You and Means, I think, helped Mike Mack and Quinton Butcher. We always call him Chucky, of course.
Yeah.
So I think they've got it pretty well covered. I mean, the response from the public out there for the Hawkeyes was absolutely awesome. It was really a bad deal what happened there, and I'm pretty pissed off at that motel. We'll stay there for 20 years.
Yeah.
And they didn't let us know. Like when we left, we rebooked everything like we normally ever do. Yep, everything's sweet as, all good. The only reason we found out we didn't have a motel room was for a fundraiser idea. We were going to give away tickets. You know, you could bid on an auction, tickets for the weekend to spend the weekend with the Hawkeyes. You got a motel room,
Okay.
you know, come and hang out, and so you'd be one of the team. So we Claire rung up the motel asking to see how many rooms we had, and they turned around and said, our booking's been cancelled. You know, so in some ways we're lucky to find out now instead of a month beforehand. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
Some people said, "Oh, we must have been too rowdy." No, we weren't. We didn't. To be fair, we didn't have anything to celebrate this year, so we weren't rowdy. We repaired to 16 and 17 when we won it, and Mike Mack was doing an all-night bender. Last I seen, that head was stuck in the cup.
I mean, bottom line, anyway, that weekend, that motel's only full of Speedway people anyway. So to say you're too rowdy with Speedway people, you know.
We had 20 rooms. You know, our bill was $6.5 grand or $7 grand or something. So it's, I don't quite know. There was different managers there the last year or two, and it's had a different feeling. But end of the day, the Esprit, that's no way to treat your customers. That's no way to do business. So I publicly out them. I don't give a shit.
It happened to Kins last year. It happened to Kins last year, a week out from teams. He rang up to confirm, and he'd already paid.
It's been happening to a lot of people, a lot of motels I've been hearing.
Yeah. No, it's quite a common thing. I was only a week out, James, from mine, and I'd paid it, and they refused. They were only going to give me back half of my money. I'd paid for 3 rooms. I threatened them with fair go and everything. But yeah, you're right. Thanks to the Speedway family, I was sorted, and that was only like a week out from bloody arriving in Palmy, and all hell at the fan.
Me, mate, you would have seen me truck being backed into the room.
Yeah. I know, I was last, yeah. But thanks to, but you're right. It's the Speedway family who came together, and I saw the support around you guys when you found out the news. Everyone trying to help get you accommodation, and I'm glad it's all been sorted, mate. And we'll bring on the year. Look, we'll let you go. I know we could sit here and talk till 9 o'clock. You got to get your clown suit ready for the infield entertainment, according to Jacob. So.
He is a clown. He'll be right. He just needs to walk out there and he's good to go.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for your time, James. We appreciate it, mate. And I'll keep in touch about. We'll be there for opening, myself and Kins, and we'll do some stuff. And we'll definitely. I'll give Mr. Warner a call and organise the other stuff. And we'll help you out as much as we can. And so we'll keep in touch, mate, with everything that's going on.
I really appreciate it. Thanks to you guys, what you do for Speedway. It's great.
No worries. Thanks James. Have a good night, eh?
It is.
See you later.
Cheers. Thank you. If you want to stay in touch, Meeanee Speedway, give them a like or a follow on Facebook, or go to the website. Everything will be updated. The calendar is only provisional at the moment. Obviously, the super stocks has all been lined up from Wednesday through to the Saturday. Right now, it's on the Sunday, but predominantly most of their calendar prior to the end of the year is on schedule. Might be a couple of changes. Only notable change was the Caravan Derby that's going to move to 24. They don't want any debris out there wrecking the big New Zealand champs. It sounds like James and everyone that's associated at the track has got things in place and brought it back to them who actually work and race once upon a time or still race. It's in-house. It's awesome, Books.
Mate, if I'm looking forward to us doing that night. When we finish here, I'm gonna give Shane a ring, Mr. Warner a ring, and say, hey, let's get it done. And like they said, that like James wants us there to do the interviews for the scrutineering for New Zealand's again, so that's cool. I just like the way they've allocated everybody a job, and that those people are doing that job, and they're doing it exceptionally at the moment, and that's how the club needs to grow, for the people everyone to step up and do their part and work together and get away from that in-house conflict bullshit that you end up with, So yeah, it's good to see that they're progressing, and I really do hope it's going to be. I'm confident it's going to be a great event. The way James is talking for the New Zealand's, and opening night, mate, is going to be chock-a-blocker. Chock-a-blocker. We have to be there by 2. Put our chairs up and then go walk around and talk to people.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it, and I look forward to seeing everyone down there over Labour weekend at Meeanee Speedway. I'll be making my way down there. Everyone who's commented tonight, thanks for jumping on. Make use of the QR app that Booker's created. It's on the Kokpit page. It'll give you all the information to tracks up and down the country. And of course, are we live streaming on Sunday? Teams?
Oh yes, this Sunday we'll have teams racing, and I will be live streaming the teams racing on Sunday. So, yeah, that's Sunday night. I forgot about that.
Sunday night. That's us.
Sunday.
And next week we'll try and catch up maybe with the drivers who represented New Zealand over the other side of the world, see what we can do for you next Wednesday. If not, we've got more tracks that we're going to be talking to as well, but we'll definitely bring you a show on Sunday with Booker, Teams Champs Online E-Series, and of course Wednesday we'll carry on more events as well. Thank you, everyone. Be safe. End of the month, 1st of October. Sunday, Speedway season, getting closer.
It's all coming, mate. It's all coming. Thanks for tuning in, people. Have a safe week. We'll see you on Sunday.
Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
It's just to go out there and give it your every time. And
when you're young and you get in the old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Nanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?